The iconic red caps, the passionate rallies, the promises of America becoming great again. For millions, the movement represented hope and change. But what happens when those hopes crash against the shores of reality? Today, we explore the stories of those who once proudly declared themselves MAGA supporters, but now look back with regret and bewilderment at their political journey.
So Frumpy has said that a recession is likely in the next couple of months. So, y'all, we need to start preparing now, stocking up your food and etc. because the last recession we had was hard for everybody.
I regret my vote for Trump.
I might lose my farm because of the government.
Okay, y'all, I never thought I'd say this, but here in Huntsville, Alabama, we are certainly regretting our votes for Trump now. Look, y'all, we just got this letter from the electric company that says because of a Trump executive order rolling back Biden-era legislation that our electric bill is going to go up $100 a month because of what Trump did. Now, this man ran on bringing prices down for us, bringing grocery prices down, bringing energy costs down, housing, insurance, and none of that has happened at all. This is literally crazy.
The Trump administration has announced that 50% of all Social Security employees will be fired. There are offices closing all over the country. In my own state of Texas, I have been able to confirm at least 3 field offices are being closed. And some of those service rural areas where people drive for many, many miles to get to that office. And now that those offices are going to be closed, older people or people with disability are going to have to travel much further to get to an office to take care of their business. And then today we learned that Musk is pressuring the officials at the Social Security Administration to cut off a phone program that over 73 million users use every year to be able to apply for their Social Security benefits or to, if there's a problem or glitch, to call and work out. They are cutting the phone program because it's waste. So we're closing field offices and we're cutting phone programs. So what does that mean? That means our elderly population and our people with disabilities who rely on Social Security will have to find an office and show up in person, or Musk's answer is use the internet.
What's particularly striking about these former supporters isn't just their disappointment, but their sense of personal betrayal. Many describe feeling conned or used, as though they'd entered a relationship with someone who never truly existed. For every former supporter, there seems to be a unique breaking point, that moment when doubt could no longer be suppressed.
I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I voted for Trump. I'm done. I don't have any more resilience in me.
Governor Glenn Youngkin said today that the state is preparing an aid package for Virginians losing their jobs in the Trump administration's gutting of the federal workforce. But he said the cuts are necessary. But Youngkin defended the Trump administration's actions, which disproportionately affect Virginia as one of the top states in the country for federal employment and spending, with more than 140,000 federal workers. Yesterday spoke with Trump voters who just 1 month in say they are now horrified by what they helped cause when they voted for Trump. When we said safer borders, I thought he was thinking, let's stop the drugs from coming into the country. I didn't know he was going to start raiding places. She said she didn't believe he would actually follow through on some of the more hardline policies he touted during the campaign. The 49-year-old Omaha, Nebraska resident said, quote, now I'm like, dang, why didn't I just pick Kamala?
I used to be a MAGA Republican, and now I've turned blue.
Perhaps the most poignant aspect of these stories is the social isolation many former supporters describe. Having built friendships, family relationships, and even identities around their political affiliation, changing their minds came with steep personal costs.
Man, I can't believe I have to say this, but I'm no longer rocking with Trump.
Are my MAGA family regretting their decisions? No, they're celebrating. They're celebrating the deportations. Yeah.
People are starting to realize that, we might have made a mistake. I think we made a mistake. So.
What's up, TikTok? Okay, look, I'm gonna make this real quick, baby. It is Fucktissery Friday. Yes, it is, and this shit is hot. I'm gonna need you to pass this, post this, repost this, send it to your mama, your granny, your auntie, your cousins, your sad chicks, your sad dudes, your baby mamas, baby daddies, your preachers, everybody.
We literally get slapped in the face with no explanation. They fool you.
I got a question. Were you not listening? Were you not listening to what he has been saying over the past 2 years? Were you not reading when we told you about Project 2025? Because everything that he's doing now is just running the playbook of what's in Project 2025. So truly the only person that has slapped you in the face is yourself. But here's the reality. It was easier for you to believe the lie that a black woman as president would be the end of America as we know it. It was easier to believe that than to believe the truth of who 4547 really is. We tried to warn you, and matter of fact, even he tried to warn you. He told you he was going to do everything that he's doing now. It's all laid out in Project 2025. He's just running the playbook. You, sir, and everyone like you, have just experienced fafo.
This social pressure works both ways. Many describe being hesitant to admit their change of heart to liberal friends or family members who had warned them years earlier. The shame of acknowledging they might have been wrong keeps many silent, creating a hidden population of regretful voters who may not appear in polls or speak openly. Almost universally, these former supporters describe a journey out of information bubbles. Many credit exposure to different news sources or painful personal experiences that contradicted their media diet.
You know, at the end of the day, with all of MAGA figuratively shoving our nose in our own shit like we're dogs in order to feel superior about Trump winning the election, I actually pity this man that she's talking about. And here's the thing. We have no idea what's going to happen. And I'm a veteran. My parents are veterans. I'm a military brat through and through. And now veterans' options are going to be severely limited, as if vets don't have hard enough time already. There's a lot of consequence that comes from the results of elections and the words that comes out of politicians' mouths during these elections. It kind of reminds me of this debate I was having with somebody recently who was saying, don't worry about mass deportations. That's not going to happen. He doesn't have the power to do that. It was just a ploy. It was a talking point or whatever. Well, that remains to be seen. And beyond that, he appears to be doubling down. It's going to have massive implications for our economy. And even if that never happened, which it's looking like it is, just the fact that it has been used as a part of his political strategy is going to have, and has had, demonstrable consequences in our communities.
Social media platforms receive particular criticism from these voters. Many describe algorithms that kept feeding them increasingly extreme content, driving them deeper into conspiracy theories and isolation from mainstream facts.
Lisa Murkowski of Alaska asking for exemptions to Trump's cuts and actions, specifically for Indian tribes in Alaska. Republican Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa asking for an exemption for Iowa farmers to the tariffs on Canada. Republican Florida Congresswoman Maria Elvira Salazar asking for an exemption to the indiscriminate deportation policies. Republican Senator Katie Britt asking for an exemption on the massive cuts to scientific and medical research, saying, you couldn't possibly mean Alabama for those cuts, could you? Not Alabama. You want these cuts elsewhere, right? Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine saying the same thing, saying surely those cuts don't apply to the universities and labs in Maine. She said if it applies to the ones in Maine, that would be, quote, devastating.
What unites many of these voters is a new skepticism toward personality-driven politics and sweeping promises. They describe looking for competence, consistency, and character over charisma, a profound shift in political values. The journey of these voters raises important questions about polarization and the possibility of national healing. Many describe a humbling process that has made them more open to listening to opposing viewpoints. Some former supporters have even become activists in their own right, creating support groups for others, questioning their political affiliations, and working to rebuild family relationships damaged by political divisions. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe for more engaging content next time.